Welcome back to News 9. Keeping up with changes in federal law and how it impacts you can be very hard to keep up with. Can you relate?
Today we're talking about more changes to the law that impact IRAs. We're kind of focusing on what's called Stretch IRAs today. Please welcome to the table from Chapelwood Financial, Damon King. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Some people might glaze over not understanding all the changes. What do folks need to know about changes to these so-called Stretch IRAs?
Well, the first thing you need to know is that Uncle Sam taketh away more than he giveth.
Yes.
You know? And he loves to change the rules on us. So prior to 2020, when you inherited an IRA from somebody other than your spouse, like a parent or grandparent, you had to take required minimum distributions. You had to take money out every year. Those distributions were based on possibly your life expectancy, and if you were younger than the person you inherited it from, you could stretch those payments out over a longer period of time. However, you can't do that anymore because the Secure Act of 2019 changed the rules on inherited IRAs. So that starting in 2020, when you inherit an IRA from someone other than your spouse, you actually have to pull all the money out within 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, pay any tax, you know,
Yeah,
over
as
a
you
short
pass out.
Right.
Yeah, so the term stretch doesn't necessarily mean a certain product. It's just what you could do with it. I've actually seen some of those IRAs that could stretch over 2 or 3 generations because they were large enough and the people were young enough.
Can't do that anymore.
Yeah. What are some of the key impacts then that the new IRA rules have on families, and how do you kind of work around that system?
So obviously the first one is that the money has to be taxed sooner. If it's a traditional, if it's a Roth IRA, which is after tax, then that money will be tax-free. But the traditional IRAs, they're fully taxable. So now instead of stretching it out over 15, 20 years maybe, it all has to be taxed within 10 years. And then the other downside is that, you know, maybe if that money was going to last for a longer period of time, maybe now the heirs take the money sooner and maybe spend it faster when maybe mom and dad or grandma and grandpa wanted that money to last for a longer period of time.
What are some options to maybe not have it hit as hard?
That's right. So, you know, again, when Uncle Sam changes the rules on us, we have to try to find ways around that. So, for one thing, maybe you don't leave an IRA at all. You know, I've been telling some of our clients, leave the IRAs to your spouse if you're married, all right, because they have different rules. Instead, maybe leave life insurance to your non-spouses, your kids, your grandkids, because when you pass away, for most of the time, a life insurance death benefit is tax-free, all right?
Okay.
So that's one thing. And then another option would be, before you pass away, over a long period of time, maybe convert some of that pre-tax traditional money to Roth, and then you pay the tax. You get to dictate when the taxes get paid.
So when your child goes to take it out,
it's tax-free.
They've already
That's
paid.
right, even if they have to take it out over 10 years.
Sounds like you really have to have some really important and hard conversations with your loved ones, too, to make sure everyone's on the same page for this.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Robin. It's very important that families, especially parents, sit down, talk to your kids about money. I mean, they're not just going to magically know about money if you don't talk about it.
And you might really not know what your parents have or what their plans are, and so. All right, well, Damon King, thanks so much. We appreciate all you and Victoria do at Chapelwood Finance.
You explained it so well, too, because it sounds like very difficult to understand, but that was pretty easy.
We appreciate that,
to digest.
and I do have a little gift, so Victoria wanted me to make sure that I give a copy of her book to you.
It's all about the money, honey.
That's right,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we got a copy of that book there, and she regrets that she couldn't be here today, but
all right, we got her book.
on.
Damon, thanks so much.
David.
Yeah, thanks a lot.